There is no avoiding it at this point. When compared to Sigma males, men have a little advantage when it comes to having mastery over their lives. They are problem solvers and survivors by nature, able to adapt to any scenario, but occasionally even that power may work against them, forcing them to make some mistakes along the road that they wish they could reverse. Along the journey, they wish they could undo some of the blunders that they made. You undoubtedly had to go through some challenging experiences, just like the vast majority of Sigma males. Nevertheless, you can always improve your life by expanding your knowledge and incorporating new experiences. The following are 9 valuable truths in life that some Sigma males learn way too late in their lives. Fear of being different ranks top, despite the fact that being different is not the same as being odd because they regularly differ from other males. Sigma males have felt like outcasts for a long time. Instead than trying to conform to certain men in the Sigma community ought to recognize the value of their unique characteristics and embrace them as assets. After all, the fact that one of their defining features is that they are attracted to strong, independent women is precisely why they are drawn to them. The old saying that there is power in numbers may have some truth to it, but it does not mean that it is always the case. In fact, being unusual may sometimes be helpful. Take it into consideration in this way. When everyone is behaving in the same manner, it is much simpler for a single person to blend in with the throng and go unnoticed. But if you are distinctive, you'll probably stick. Depending on how you look at it, something might have either positive or negative consequences. Some individuals have a pessimistic outlook on being one of a kind because they feel it labels them as peculiar or out of the ordinary. In this world full of sheep, having something that makes you stand out from the crowd may not only not be a negative thing, but it may also be useful. A male member of Sigma makes the most of his unique qualities and frequently excels above the accomplishments of his peers in this regard. Because of this, you shouldn't be afraid to. It is possible that this will turn out to be the finest choice you have ever made. It goes without saying that in order to be distinctive, you do not have to act in an utterly odd manner. There is a difference between behaving unconventionally and entirely ignoring the laws. Take it easy on yourself and refrain from getting crazy with it. You'll thank yourself later. If you want others to take seriously the distinguishing characteristics you possess, determine methods through which you may profit from your unique selling proposition without going too far. Second, it's not always a good idea to give too much thought to a situation. The vast majority of men in Sigma have analytical brains, which is a quality that may be helpful in a variety of settings. For instance, it can help people arrive at enlightened judgments or find effective solutions to difficult problems. Their tendency to overanalyze circumstances, on the other hand, can occasionally backfire on them and cause them to make decisions that aren't in their best interests or bring about results that they don't want, even when there isn't any real cause for concern. When things don't work out the way someone had hoped for them to, prolonged pondering can lead to a build-up of unnecessary tension and concern later on. Because doing this, people may have feelings of remorse, and some members of Sigma need to learn how to strike a healthy balance between applying their intelligence to worthwhile projects and exerting an excessive amount of mental effort in their daily lives, worrying about things that aren't significant. You might want to give some of these strategies a try if you're having trouble keeping your concentration and avoiding overthinking. Make sure you give yourself time to relax and recharge between all of your commitments. Either go for a walk or curl up with a good book. If a situation is causing you to feel stressed out, one solution to the problem is to try to break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. You won't be overwhelmed by the several facets involved, and you'll have no trouble focusing on one issue at a time. Make an effort to talk yourself out of unpleasant notions and concentrate on concepts that are either more practical or more cheerful. If you have a tendency to worry about hypothetical events that are unlikely to occur, there are situations in which overthinking can be beneficial. However, if you are not careful, it can also result in a variety of problems. If you have a tendency to worry about hypothetical events that are unlikely to occur, overthinking can be beneficial. Take precautions to prevent acquiring such a negative trait. The third and last argument is that you never make progress if you don't try anything new. When it comes to achieving one's goals, there is no such thing as failure, at least not in the traditional sense, because each and every setback and disappointment may be regarded as an additional opportunity to learn something new. A second opportunity to attempt to improve your chances the next time. But adopting this mindset also requires you to be willing to take risks and expose yourself to vulnerability, even if you aren't quite certain about the outcome of the situation. Analysis and problem solving are two areas in which male Sigmas are particularly skilled. Consequently, for some of them, taking significant risks might be difficult. However, as the old saying goes, if you don't take any shots, you'll end up missing 100 out of every 100 opportunities. If you are always on the lookout for the ideal moment or occasion, you could discover that you never take any action at all. You need to cultivate the ability to be okay with not knowing anything and to approach new challenges with a feeling of wonder and awe. Naturally, this does not mean that one is careless or irresponsible in any way. You need to continue conducting research and making choices that are both judicious and intentional. You should, on the other hand, be prepared to take risks on occasion, even if doing so involves the possibility of making mistakes or running into obstacles. Therefore, keep in mind that success comes to those who are willing to take chances, and if you're feeling stuck in a rut or burdened by life's challenges, you should keep moving forward regardless of how you feel. You should thus not be afraid to aim high and work toward achieving your objectives because you can never tell what kind of success you will have. If you don't even attempt, take the shot now rather than waiting for the perfect chance to present itself. Now, you may be surprised by what you have accomplished despite the fact that you believe that you are purposeless. Finding a sense of direction in life can be one of the most difficult things for some Sigmas to do when they are young. This is true whether they are still trying to define who they are or are having a difficult time waiting for the ideal match to appear in order to create significant goals and pursue your aspirations. Finding a sense of direction in life can be one of the most difficult things for some Sigmas to do when they are young. It is not necessary for you to have the feeling that you have everything under control or that you know all the solutions. Before they had the courage to follow their emotions and go for what they truly desired. Before they had the strength to chase their dreams. A good number of the most successful individuals in the world have, at various points in their lives, battled through periods of uncertainty, confusion, and self-doubt. Consequently, it is time to shift your focus from the things that you do not have to the things that you do have. If you are having problems locating your purpose in life or if you feel lost, why not start establishing your goals and taking action as soon as possible rather than languishing in the anguish of trying to figure out where you belong or what your life's purpose is? You'll feel better. There are a lot of resources and techniques that might be useful if you are still having difficulties determining your innate abilities or simply figuring out what it is that makes you happy. If this is the case, you should look into both of these things. However, it is important to bear in mind that your sense of purpose does not need to be tied to a particular vocation in order to exist. If nothing else works, and you continue to, you may, alternatively, go in a number of other directions and follow a number of different interests. Always keep in mind that your hopes and ambitions can be anything at all, provided that you give them the chance. Why not focus more of your energy on making memories along the way rather than worrying about what your life's path is supposed to be? Because your sense of purpose is what makes you, you should make the conscious decision to be satisfied with the path that your aspirations are guiding you down. Fifth on the list is the reality that life is not always equitable. They typically have the expectation that the world will be just and equal because they place a high emphasis on justice and morality. And yet, in spite of all of their efforts, the world regularly acts in a manner that cannot be predicted. They are susceptible to outbursts of rage and frustration on occasion, particularly when the events of their lives do not go according to their plans. Whenever things do not go as to plan, in spite of the fact that life isn't always fair and wasn't intended to be, we frequently find ourselves in novel and unexpected circumstances in this chaotic world, circumstances that sometimes defy reason or common sense. These Sigma males need to be aware of this despite the fact that life wasn't designed to be fair. And although if this could give the impression that we are unhappy and confused on the outside, it should never prevent us from being the people that we are on the inside. If you are one of those Sigmas who has a hard time understanding why life does not follow the rules that you have planned for it, rather than allowing this to bring you down, try to bear in mind that terrible things may occur for no apparent reason at all. When you put your attention on the direction in which you want your life to go, you can be pleasantly surprised by the things you pick up along the road. The sixth point is that you should not be concerned with how other people see you. Undoubtedly, Sigmas are often misunderstood or vilified for being who they are not. Nevertheless, a few of these Sigma males are clueless about the fact that the way in which other people see you is not within your control. Even if someone else does not share your values, hobbies, or choices in life, it does not give them the right to judge you or downplay the significance of your convictions. It is essential that you do not let the opinions or actions of other people to shape who you are as a person, even if this may be a more difficult thing to achieve than it seems. Make sure that you continue to stand up for what is important to you and that you remain loyal to who you are no matter how other people react to the decisions that you make. Don't be afraid to try. If doing so entails wearing what you want to wear or expressing your sentiments, bear in mind that no one can make you alter who you are on the inside, and no one can force you to change who you are on the inside. Don't give anyone else the chance to attempt. After all, nobody else will have trust in you if you don't. There is a good reason why people commonly refer to Sigma males as being the only ones in the world. You are solely accountable to yourself and the choices you make regarding the manner in which you choose to conduct yourself while you live alone, thus the tranquility and freedom more than make up for the occasional feeling of isolation that you may have as a result of this shallow society. Personality is what sets you apart from other people, regardless of whether you are more comfortable at home, in solitude, or away from the madding throng. You are not an alpha man. Rather, you are a Sigma person, thus you should stop caring what other people think. 7th, your greatest skills could also be your greatest weaknesses in some areas. Despite the fact that they exhibit a great number of admirable qualities that contribute to the formation of their identities. Sigma males, on the other hand, are not without their share of flaws. These males, for instance, usually display traits of independence as well as self-assurance. It frequently has the effect of leading people to be too critical of themselves. It's possible that when things don't go according to plan, people become reluctant to ask for aid or support when they do, which only serves to strengthen the idea that they are independent of. If compassion and self-love are not present, high personal standards and tenacious drive may quickly become disadvantages. Although having high personal standards and tenacious drive are excellent strengths, they can easily become disadvantages if they are not balanced with compassion and self-love. If you want to reach there fast, you should recognize that traveling together makes it possible to travel further than traveling alone does. This is the best way to avoid the situation described above. 8th, when brilliance isn't enough to succeed, success comes through working hard. No matter how talented or experienced you are, you will never be able to realize your full potential if you are not willing to put in the amount of effort and devotion that is necessary to be successful. These boys in Sigma need to learn this lesson at a young age if they ever wish to fulfill their full potential and accomplish the objectives they set for themselves. Obviously, this does not mean that you have to be a workaholic who spends every waking second toiling away at your goals. It only means that you should be motivated to do so. It simply implies that you have to prioritize devoting your time and energy to the achievement of your objectives. If you want something badly enough, it may need you to forego attending a few parties or putting other potential diversions on hold in order to make progress toward your objectives. Getting forward requires dedication, drive, and concentration on the task at hand. However, if you are prepared to put in the work, there is no amount of skill that will be able to prevent you from reaching your goals and maturing into the kind of guy you have always seen yourself being. The 9th and last point is that comparing robs joy of its value. It's likely that you're familiar with the saying, joy may easily be taken away by the act of comparison. It's a well-known saying that speaks to a lot of people, even male Sig, and it rings true for them. We regularly gauge our own worth or value by comparing ourselves to others, but we are unaware of the potential damage that this pattern of behavior may cause to our sense of self-worth and our capacity to enjoy genuine happiness. Many immature Sigma males endure feelings of insecurity and self-doubt, and the comparison is typically a major contributor to these emotions. When you evaluate yourself in comparison to other people, you most often focus on the ways in which you are unique from them. It is possible that you will feel inadequate or worthless as a result of their attractiveness, their accomplishments, or their renown. However, the fact of the matter is that each individual possesses a unique combination of strengths and limitations. Therefore, rather of competing with one another to see who can achieve the most, we should focus on our own individual development and make an effort to improve ourselves in our own unique ways. This may be done in a number of ways, including the creation of goals and their successful completion, the development of new skills and abilities, or even simply the simple act of being present and thankful of what we currently have. If you notice that you are constantly evaluating yourself in relation to other people, you should make an effort to redirect your focus inside and away from those other people. There is no point in competing with other people because we are all working toward the same goal, which is something to be thankful for because it eliminates the need for competition. Not compare our own journey and goals to those of others because everyone's path and destination are unique. Don't allow comparison drain you of joy when you travel.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And do share with your friends so we may continue to create them. To see more videos like this, subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Additionally, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.